the endorsed National Green Party candidate for Castries North says the situation with the other two contesting candidates for that constituency can be very beneficial. She says the fiasco currently going on has shone a light on Castries North and can be used as an opportunity to highlight the issues currently facing constituents.
With the resignation of long-serving UWP member Stevenson King and his announcement to contest the Castries North seat as an independent candidate, the launching of former Senate President Janine Jarodi McIntyre as the candidate for the UWP, and the announcement of the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party not to field any candidate for that constituency, Castries North is the talk of the town. However, what has not been heard much is the voice of the endorsed candidate for Castries North for the National Green Party, Daisy Ann St. Rose. St. Rose says the spotlight on Castries North should be used as a catalyst to get the needs of the constituents addressed.
It is interesting and it is also good. I'm happy to see that, the people of Castries North are actually being considered. So, I'm happy with all the attention that they have been getting, and I hope that their needs or their issues are heard, not just by me, but by the other two candidates, and that they look or seek to find ways to address those needs.
Does she believe that the current instability will bode well for her? St. Rose says the power is in the hands of the people.
I would like to believe that the people of Castries North will see that I'm authentic, that I am people-focused, and that I seek to address their issues, right, and engage them. My intention, or what I believe the government should be focusing on, is engagement of communities, participative communities, inclusiveness, bringing the people at the focus of the whole building of the society.
In his years of representing Castries North, Stevenson King has won his seat all but once in 1997, where he was defeated by George Odlum on a St. Lucia Labour Party ticket. As the July 26th general election draws nearer, the focus remains on whether King can retain his seat as an independent candidate. Genevieve Gonzague, Hot 7 TV, Election Central.
Incumbent MP for Dennery North, Edmund Estefan, was in the hot seat on Wednesday night, where he weighed in on the move by Stevenson King to run as an independent candidate for the Castries North seat. Many are still trying to wrap their heads around what has been the most stunning political development for the 2021 general election. UWP stalwart and former Prime Minister Stevenson King will attempt to create history in St. Lucian politics by becoming the first independent candidate to successfully contest the general election. His former UWP cabinet colleague Edmund Estefan has expressed his confusion about King's move and his recent criticism surrounding corruption within the party. He says his confusion surrounds King's true intentions and why such a seasoned politician would commit what he considers political suicide. Again,
there are so much speculation all over the place as to how this came about and so on and so forth, and what is at play. We also heard on the political platform of the St. Lucia Labour Party a very informative statement by the leader of that party. And let me remind you of what he said. He said, over the years, 3 leaders of the United Workers' Party have left the party and joined the St. Lucia Labour Party. He didn't say one will be joining, he said, and has joined. Okay? So what is the meaning of that? When Stevenson King was removed, okay, by the delegates of the United Workers' Party, he was not pleased, and he has not been pleased since. So I can look at this as the same scenario with Von Lewis. Now, am I happy that he did that? No. Was I concerned that he was going to do that? Yes. As a matter of fact, I tried my best to reach him to no avail. And you know what would have been my statement to him? Please, sir, do not put that noose around your neck. politically.
Estefan, who is a 3-time elected MP for Dennery South, says over the years he cemented a strong relationship with Stevenson King, but he still questions whether King is being completely honest with his constituents and the country.
And I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, this is a man that I love, okay? Stevenson King I love dearly. Stevenson King I fought and put everything I had in my being to keep him as Prime Minister when he was at one point under pressure, okay? Because of what the St. Lucia Labour Party did to Stevenson King, okay? We as the UWP realized that it was going to be very, very difficult for us to win an election with him. This is coming from the bottom of my heart, okay? And so we did the right thing. We got another leader, and we were working well. All was not lost for Stevenson King, Honorable Stevenson King, our former Prime Minister. But we, as a unit, you have to work together, okay? I don't know, I have no idea what Mr. King was thinking when he went and did this. But we all know in St. Lucia that the Labour Party has said he has joined them, okay? Even if he goes out there and give how many press conferences saying that is not so, we know that it was in the thinking, or we can honestly think that it was in the thinking, and this is very unfortunate for the Honorable Stevenson King.
Estefan insists that the party has not been weakened by King's departure.
Because the United Workers' Party is as strong as I've known it for my entire lifetime. That's the strongest the United Workers' Party has been throughout my lifetime.
The incumbent Dennery South MP says the United Workers' Party has a battle ahead, but he is confident that the party will be the one left standing, while King's political career will have ended by his own hands. The chairman of Rise St. Lucia, Dr. Venus Sherry, says he finds it hypocritical for politicians to advocate for adherence to COVID-19 protocols, then go against these same protocols. He believes that police, the politicians, and health officials all made the wrong move when approving constituency motorcades.
The spectacle of motorcades and rallies over the weekend have left many people outraged by the actions of politicians, police, and health authorities to allow such events to take place during a pandemic. Chairman of Rise St. Lucia, Venus Cherry, says that he is appalled by the lack of responsibility on the part of our leaders over the weekend and laments that it seems the protocols only apply to certain sections of society.
Why put the lives of the people you say that you love and care about in harm's way just to benefit your ego? Because that's all campaign and rallies do, you know. Benefit politicians' ego. They look at the numbers of people that show up and they tell themselves, oh yes, I'm doing good. No, it doesn't determine where people are going to vote. I can put on a yellow shirt today and go and jump in a yellow party. I can put on a red shirt and go and jump in a red party. But on the day, it depends on where I'm voting and what I'm voting for. If you care about people, show it. Don't just say it, show it. So it's very hypocritical for the Prime Minister to come out and say, and be mad and say, oh, St. Lucians are not listening, and Mary Isaac said we dropped the ball, and the CMO been appealing to us to follow protocol, to listen. But just when it benefits them and elections around the corner, they can put all that aside and put all of our lives at risk.
Cherry further argues that the amendment to ban island-wide motorcades is still insufficient because rallies within the constituencies still possess the potential to get out of hand.
And even worse, when they saw what happened this Sunday, right? They had a meeting, and instead of banning the campaigns outright and saying, let's stick to virtual and let's have elections nice so people can be healthy, they stated that, oh, we're going to do it for constituencies only. Do you know how big the constituency of Grosley is? Do you know how many people live in the constituency of Grosley? Over 20,000 people. So if SLP and UWP have campaigns in Grosley, do you know how many people can potentially get COVID? Don't those people migrate to Castries and to Ancillary and to Soufrière and to Vieux-Fort? So what does it really matter if you do it in the constituency alone and not island-wide, as opposed to if you do it island-wide? Doesn't really matter.
Cherry says that he does not understand why ordinary citizens could get arrested for not abiding to the protocols, but leaders of the land do not face any consequences for irresponsible behavior. Karim Nelson, Hot 7 TV, Election Central.
Remarks by the incumbent MP for Dennery South, Edmund Estefan, have been widely condemned as inappropriate and a lowering of the bar when it comes to political discourse. On Wednesday, the SLP's communications officer, Mondi Lewis, called for a focus on the issues that affect citizens' lives. But Edmund Estefan says the questions surrounding the SLP MP are relevant to the people. While appearing as a guest on the hot seat, he doubled down on the comments about how the MP used government funds.
That's their opinion. Okay? So much has happened when it comes to, let's say, the minister's account. Okay? Let's go there. So much is happening when it comes to allegations that are floating around about the same individual. I don't see anybody going to him and asking him questions. I ask a question. I expect an answer from the gentleman. Is it true? Is it not true?
Is it true that he was in our local palace making bomb with the government's
money?
No,
how would I know that for a fact? I said there are allegations going around and I'm asking the question. All the journalists in St. Lucia should be asking that gentleman the question.
The Christian Council has also made a call to elevate the political discourse to allow citizens to make an informed decision when they take to the polls come the 26th of July, 2021. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. When we return, your thoughts on what to expect for Nomination Day.